Christmas. It's me, Santa Claus. And I've come to read you another story. We're going to read a little longer story today. But it's, the day before Christmas Eve, I thought a longer story would be nice. This is from our Treasury of Christmas Stories and Songs, and we are going to be reading The Nutcracker, based on the story by E.T.A. Hoffman, illustrated by Valeria Docampo. So, we'll give you the title page first. Isn't that pretty? Look at all those giant candy canes. You like candy canes? I like candy canes. All right, let's go ahead and get right to the story. It was Christmas Eve and the snow was falling gently. Clara and her brother Fritz were very excited. That night there would be a magnificent party with music and dancing as well as lots of fantastic presents. Fritz was busy with his toy soldiers, lining them up and giving them orders. Clara put the finishing touches on their enormous tree. She hung shining ornaments and candy canes tied with bows from the branches. "This is my favorite part," Clara said to her brother as she lifted up a beautiful fairy with delicate wings and a sugar plum colored dress. See, look, he's playing with his soldiers and she's decorating the tree. Isn't that pretty? It's a very nice picture. It's a very nice tree. Look at the size of that tree. All right. At last it was time for the party to begin. "The guests are arriving," cried Clara, peering out of her bedroom window. Fritz ran over to see who was crunching through the snow. "Can you see Godfather Drosselmeyer?" asked Clara. "Yes, there he is, waving," cried Fritz. "Come on!" Their godfather was a famous toy maker. He made the most magical toys in the whole city. Clara and Fritz could hardly wait to see what he had brought for them. Oh, see? There's the grown-ups down at the bottom, and there they are in the window, looking at them. Covered up Clara's head. All right. Godfather Drosselmeyer hugged the children at the door and with a flourish produced 2 gifts. Fritz eagerly unwrapped a box of toy soldiers. For Clara there was a wooden nutcracker in the shape of a soldier. "Take good care of him," said Godfather Drosselmeyer. "He is very special. "I love him," Clara whispered. "Thank you." "But he's a soldier," said Fritz. "He should be mine." "You can't have him," cried Clara. Fritz tried to snatch the nutcracker away from her. He pulled and Clara tugged and then, crack! The nutcracker's leg snapped off. Oh no. And she just got him. You ever fight with if you have brothers and sisters, do you ever fight with them? But with toys or kids at school? Or it's just so important for you to play with that toy, but they also think it's so important. It's good to share. Sharing is a good thing. Let's see. Clara cradled the nutcracker in her arms and wept. "Don't cry, Clara," said her godfather gently. "This soldier has been wounded, but I can soon fix him." Godfather Drosselmeyer pulled a little tool pouch from his pocket and quickly mended the nutcracker so that he looked as good as new. "Oh, thank you," said Clara, drying her eyes. "I'll never let anyone hurt him again." Everyone was dancing now, and the house was filled with music and laughter. Clara placed the nutcracker carefully under the Christmas tree and joined the party. See? Godfather Drosselmeyer fixed him. He's all better. Time for the Christmas party. Do you go to Christmas parties? Christmas parties can be a lot of fun, can't they? All right. Finally, the last dance was ended, and the guests said their goodbyes. The family went to bed, and the house was dark and quiet. Clara awoke to hear the last bong of the clock striking midnight. "Oh no," she thought, "I left the nutcracker all alone under the tree." Clara tiptoed downstairs and crept under the Christmas tree, holding the nutcracker protectively. Suddenly the tree started to grow taller and taller. Or was it just that Clara was shrinking? "What's happening?" she cried. Look. See, the tree keeps getting bigger and bigger. And there she is. What do you think happened? Do you know what happened? Have you heard this story before? Okay, let's find out. "Don't be afraid," said a kind voice. Clara turned around. Her nutcracker had come alive. Behind him, Fritz's soldiers were standing up in their toy box and Clara's dolls were gazing around. Before Clara could speak, she heard a scurrying sound, and from every nook and cranny, an army of mice poured into the room. They were led by a giant mouse king with a golden crown. "Attack!" he squealed. "Who will fight with me?" cried the nutcracker. The soldiers marched boldly out of the toy box. Wow! A mouse king, huh? Have you ever seen a mouse? I don't think I've seen a mouse king, but I have seen a mouse before. I see a lot of houses. Every so often you'll see a mouse. To battle, ordered the Nutcracker. The soldiers shouted and cheered, and the mice squealed and squeaked. Suddenly, Clara saw the Mouse King spring toward her beloved Nutcracker, baring his teeth. Arr. No, cried Clara. She snatched off her slipper and hurled it at the Mouse King. He fell to the ground with a cry, and his crown tumbled from his head. With their leader defeated, the mice scurried away in fear. The battle was won. Look at this. Look at there's the Mouse King, and Clara fought the Mouse King. She's a brave little girl. Yeah, would you fight the Mouse King? I don't have a slipper. Well, I've got slippers for when I go to bed. So maybe that's the kind of slipper. I don't think that's her slipper, though. The Nutcracker picked up Clara's slipper and placed it on her foot. She gasped. The Nutcracker had transformed into a handsome prince. I owe you my life, Princess Clara, he said. You broke the spell that was put on me long ago by a wicked mouse queen. I'm glad that you're safe, said Clara, but you are mistaken. I'm not a princess. Are you sure? Asked the prince. Clara looked down and saw that she was wearing a glittering gown and satin shoes. Come, said the prince, I'm going to take you on a wonderful adventure. Look, he's a boy. And she's got her new outfit. Because she's Princess Clara now. The walls of the living room seemed to fade away, and a beautiful sleigh drew up in front of them, led by 2 reindeer. Clara and the prince climbed aboard, and they were swept high into the sky among the sparkling stars. Suddenly, Clara caught sight of a magical land down below. Lollipop trees shimmered on cotton candy hills. There were gingerbread houses, rivers of honey, and an orange-scented breeze. Where are we? Gasped Clara. This is the kingdom of sweets, said the prince. Look, there's the kingdom of sweets. Reminds me of the game Candyland. Have you ever played the game Candyland? It's fun. I like the game Candyland. The sleigh landed beside a rose-colored lake and changed to a sea chariot pulled by dolphins. Swans swam beside them, and shimmering fish leapt out of the water. On the far side of the lake was a magnificent marzipan palace. A fairy with delicate wings was waving to them from the gate. Look, said the prince, it's the Sugar Plum Fairy. Prince Nutcracker, cried the fairy, you are home at last. This is Princess Clara, said the prince as they stepped ashore. She saved my life and broke the Mouse Queen's spell. The Sugar Plum Fairy hugged Clara. Come and join the celebration, she said. Now they said the Marzipan Castle, marzipan is like a paste that you can shape into lots of things. It's got a base of almonds. Almonds are nuts. So if you have a nut allergy, you can't eat marzipan. But it's really good. It's really sweet. So if you like sweet, you'd be all set. Inside the palace, Clara and the princess feasted on delicious cakes and sweets. They watched in wonder as dancers from every corner of the world whirled around the room. Then it was the Sugar Plum Fairy's turn. Clara had never seen such dancing. She twirled and twirled until all Clara could see was the blur of her plum-colored dress. Clara's eyelids began to droop. Her adventures had made her tired. The sound of the music became fainter and fainter. Look, see, they're at the fairies' party. Isn't that pretty? I like that. That's very pretty. She was spinning really fast. When Clara woke on Christmas morning, she found herself curled up under the Christmas tree next to the Nutcracker. Toys were strewn across the floor, and her parents were standing over her. What have you been doing? Asked her father. Oh, I've had the most wonderful adventure, said Clara. She told her parents all about the Mouse King, the Nutcracker Prince, and the Kingdom of Sweets. It was just a dream, darling, said her mother. Clara gazed up at the sugar-plum-colored fairy on the top of the tree. Then she looked at the wooden Nutcracker in her hands. Perhaps it was, she said. Clara noticed something glinting on the carpet, and a smile spread across her face. It was a tiny golden crown. Oh, a little crown. From when she was a princess, you think? In the big tree, and then over here, there's the Sugar Plum Fairy. You see her? Whoop. All right. Merry Christmas, Prince Nutcracker, she whispered. Merry Christmas, Prince Nutcracker, she whispered. Kind of messed that up a little, didn't I? And there she's saying Merry Christmas to Prince Nutcracker. What a great story. I mean, it would have been better if Santa Claus was in it. But they can't all be with me in them. Once in a while you'll get one that's, just about Christmas. And that's fine. So, wow, what a great story, though. A little longer than usual. But that's okay. We like long stories too. It wasn't too long. You still out there? Hello? All right. Well, don't forget to like and subscribe. I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow is Christmas Eve. So that'll be exciting, won't it? Oh my, yes. That'll be just so exciting. So I've got a special story for you on Christmas Eve. And I will see you then. You have a Merry, Merry Christmas, okay? All right. Goodbye.